Hey y'all, welcome back to my channel. Hi, hello, how are you? How has your week been? How has your 2024 been going so far? I am excited for this video because it's going to incorporate one of my favorite beings on this entire earth, but it is my dog Astro. I saw Sarah Curley do this video last year in 2023 and decided that I wanted to do it as well, but of course I had to wait for a time when I was home when I was with my dog so that I could do this video. So we are doing the dog picks my reads for the week. I have got 3 pairings here. I have 3 physical books and 3 books on Kindle. So each pairing is 1 physical book, 1 Kindle book. So the first ones we've got here are Radio Silence by Alice Oseman from my December TBR that I never read, and a book called The Echo of Old Books that I had never heard of, but the cover really intrigued me when I was scrolling through Amazon one day of Kindle Unlimited books. Then we've got In the Likely Event by Rebecca Yarros, which I bought signed by her because I bought this before I went to her signing. And then we've got Asheville Christmas Gift, which is the second book in the Asheville Christmas Cabin series, the first one that I read in my Getting in the Christmas Ebook Spirit video. I really want to read that. And then the third physical book I have is Love Theoretically by Ali Hazelwood. I have started this book already. I started it like a month ago and then just got distracted and didn't finish it, but so if I were to get this book, I would start over. With that one, I've got The Graham Effect by Elle Kennedy, which is the first book in the Campus Diary series, which I read the entire Off-Campus series during 2023, and then said I wanted to read both the Briar U and the Campus Diary series. And so The Graham Effect is currently the only one out of the Campus Diary series. So those are my book options for this video. Let's see what my dog picks. I'm just going to like separate the book and the sticky note and just like place a treat on each of them, and whichever one he picks, he eats first, is the one that I am going to pick. Let us go see which books he is going to pick for me to read this week. Okay, here is Astro. The first pairing we've got is The Echo of Old Books and Radio Silence. So, here we go. Go get it! Get it! No, over there. Astro, over there, look! Get it. Oh, you just slobbered on my book. Good boy, okay. Next, we've got In the Likely Event or Asheville Christmas Gift. Okay, go get it. Astro, over here. Astro, look, here. Okay. Then last, we've got The Graham Effect versus Love Theoretically. Ready? Get it. Pick. I think he picked all of the Kindle books. So somehow this dog managed to pick all 3 of the Kindle books that I had put out, even when I like swapped them. See, you know, he struggled a little bit more than Moji did, because my dog's not the brightest bulb in the box, because I would put the treats down and he would just look at me for the treats in my hand. He didn't do all that great. I guess we'll be reading all of the virtual books options that I had. So first up is Echo of Old Books. Let's get started. Okay, my initial thoughts on The Echo of Old Books. I am more intrigued than I originally thought I was going to be. When I first started the book, I was worried it was going to be more of a literary fiction, which so far I haven't really found myself to be interested in all that much. So I just wasn't sure about it. Did I say I'm about a third of the way into the book? It has an element of magical realism to it. That's pretty interesting. I don't think I've really ever read a book like that. It's very interesting to be expanding my palette in terms of books. excuse if I have any more of a southern accent today. So far, in the last 2 days combined, my grandma and I have watched a total of 7 hours of Young Sheldon. Currently, at this point in time, there is a romance heavily portrayed in The Echo of Old Books, and I'm not enjoying it right now. This couple has a trope that I just heavily do not like. We as the readers know the inevitability of this couple. I'm more interested in the character we hardly get to see, which is frustrating. Okay, hello. I read like, I don't know how much, between last night and this morning. And I have gotten to read more about the characters that I actually do care about compared to the ones that are like the primary focus of the story. And it's so interesting because like part of the story feels like it's coming up upon its finale, but like I'm only 62% of the way through the book. So like it feels like part of the book is coming to an end, yet like very clearly it's not. This guy's really getting on my nerves. There are so many reasons why this guy is the scum of the earth, and yet he has the nerve to act like he's a victim in all of this. Okay, so I finished The Echo of Old Books. I won't even say that I wish the ending was longer for the primary romance, because you can just expect that if I'm reading a book that has romance in it, like, the ending could always be longer. But even for like some of the other plot, like besides the romance that I cared about, I felt like there were some things that weren't as resolved as they could have been. The book definitely had an interesting flow to it. So yeah, I finished that really late last night. And then this morning I started reading Asheville Christmas Gift, which I'm really enjoying because it picks up literally exactly where the first one stops. And so I think for at least the first 3, that's how it is. Like each one picks up where the last one left off. I don't know how far into it I am. I think maybe a quarter of the way through. And it's just a cutie little book. I shared in, I think it was my 2023 reading wrap up, that my mom calls books like this Hallmark movie books, because, you know, it's just a cutie little feel good, like, yes, there's a problem, but it wraps up like in a nice little bow at the end. I'll probably finish that. I'll definitely finish that tomorrow, and then get started on The Graham Effect, which I am super excited for. Oh no, this is not good. He needs to leave. Go home. Go home. Okay, my first thoughts on The Graham Effect are that I'm absolutely loving it. It is really funny, and I'm loving our main character Gigi so far. And I haven't seen much of our male main character, but these chapters have titles, which I 100% miss when chapters used to have titles all the time. And so I am feeling a weird sense of nostalgia with the fact that each of these chapters have titles, which is weird considering the fact that like this book is nothing like the books that I used to read that had chapter titles, but it's still there for some reason. Enjoying is the way that this book is running in parallel to the deal. I just love it. You know, it kind of fits because it's their daughter, you know? There is much more graphic language in this book than there was in the deal that I'm having to like skip through, which is annoying, but whatever. Okay, so I finished The Graham Effect yesterday, and I loved the ending. Like the last 20% of the book, I loved it. And I don't want to spoil the book and tell you exactly what it was that was missing from this book, but there was a stereotypical part in every romance book that was missing from The Graham Effect, and it made me very happy. This couple, I cannot handle them. They are just too cute. I think this might be my first 5-star of the year. So there you have it, guys. I read 3 books that my dog picked out, and I have to say he did really well. The first one I read was The Echo of Old Books, which I rated a 3.5 stars. I wished I could have had more of the characters that I actually liked, which we didn't really focus on them until about 60% of the way through the book. So once we got to that point, I was really enjoying them. There's one character, I did not like him. He was really irritating, really annoying, really wanted to play the victim, and just everything was his fault. Then I read The Asheville Christmas Gift, which I rated a 4 stars. I loved it. I can't wait to read the third one, which is Asheville Christmas Wedding, which I couldn't tell you when I'm gonna read it, but I'm super excited to read it. It is just a little cutie, slice of life little series, and there's a lot of character development with the 3 main characters in terms of their relationships with others. And they are, all 3 of them, though they're triplets, they are in 3 very different stages in their lives, which is just comforting to see, because even 3 people who have the same DNA, they're not gonna reach milestones at the same times in their life. I'm in a season of life where I am going through a lot of changes in my life, but there are some milestones that I haven't hit compared to my peers around me. The circumstances that I'm in just make me feel like I'm behind. That's not reality. No one is gonna have the same experience in reaching these certain milestones as anybody else, and I think just reading this book reminds me of that. Then I read The Graham Effect, which is the first book in the Campus Diaries series, which I loved this book. I rated it a 5 stars, which the only book in the Off-Campus series that I rated a 5 stars was The Legacy, which was the culmination of novellas about each of the couples that are written about in the 4 books of the Off-Campus series. I just love Gigi as a character, because she is in a world that is predominantly men. She's a hockey player, it's male dominated, yet simultaneously, she doesn't let that define her entire being. She is a hockey player, but she also, loves to look pretty, and she doesn't have to choose one or the other. She can be feminine in a more masculine sport. And Gigi is a girl's girl, which I feel normally when you have books written about girls in a more male-dominated area of life, they are pick-me girls, and I am not like other girls. Whereas Gigi's yeah, I play hockey, but I also like to do these other more feminine things, who cares? And I really enjoyed the last quarter of the book. I don't want to spoil it or anything, but there is something in particular that Gigi really wants in her life. And at the end of the book, it doesn't work out, which I feel very rarely ever happens in books. Usually books happy ending, the characters all get what they want, whoop-de-doo. But this book, Elle Kennedy really showcases, yeah, you're gonna have some heartbreak in your life. It's not the result of that decision that defines you. It is what you choose to do afterwards. Are you gonna choose to let that ruin your life And are you going to wallow in it forever, or are you going to pick yourself up and try again? Like, that is more of what defines somebody than like the actual outcome of a decision. There is something that is like standard in the romance novel like formula that all of these writers have decided to follow that wasn't in this book. And I found that so refreshing. So refreshing. Because realistically, I feel like this part of the formula like doesn't actually happen in real relationships as much as we are inclined to think that it does, due to how every romance novel has this piece as a part of its plot. So I really enjoyed that. So we had a 3.5 stars, a 4 stars, and a 5 stars. I would say that my dog did a pretty good job picking my books to read for this video. Anyways, that is all I have for you guys today. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, please give it a thumbs up and subscribe to my channel if you are feeling up to it. I hope you'll have a lovely rest of your week, and I will see you guys next time. Bye.